how the mind of gay men works, or at least try to understand that beast. Humans searching for something. No one gives a shit what you do. There was a Trump in my life. Life is just a fucking teamwork.
You're now plugged into Evoking Evolvements with our international duo. Danny's in California, America.
And my dear co host Vladdy is located across the Atlantic Ocean in the Pearl of Europe, Spain.
Through core discussions, interviews, and relating our own personal life awareness,
we hope to make your life journey more peaceful, allowing us to educate, evoke, and most of all, entertain. Today, we are so happy to have with us an international athlete and virtuoso musician. This talented gent is a champion swimmer and an award-winning vocalist and songwriter who also plays the piano. And he started at the age of 7, an accomplished and skilled lad. Wow. Last September, he competed in the Paralympics in Paris.
Indeed, he did, Danny. The Paralympics is the major international sporting event for athletes with disabilities. It was the 17th Summer Paralympic Games.
And this sportster hails from Reykjavik, the capital of Iceland. Yes, Iceland, where I'm dying to visit. I hear it's gorgeous. Our guest is legally blind, and his close companion, Max, is his loyal guide dog. Now, he's an enormous advocate for the rights of visually impaired people, as well as for disabled rights.
And he was one in a handful of LGBTQ athletes competing in the Paralympics last September in Paris. A few years prior, in 2021, at the Tokyo Games, he mentioned being gay in a media interview and it went viral. It was totally unexpected, but he says it did break the ice for him to come out. And he's glad it happened.
Yeah, wow. And to coincide with his participation in the Paralympics, he composed a song summing up his angst and enthusiasm of competing in the backstroke at the Paralympics. This beautiful song is called Spirit in Motion and is performed by him, backed by the Royal Northern College of Music Orchestra, where he attends college.
Without further ado, Danny, let's bring this multifaceted guy in now. We are extremely honored to welcome to our podcast, Már Gunnarsson.
Yo, Már! So I think we should start right at the very beginning, Már.
Oh my gosh. Well, hello everyone. And first of all, thank you so much for this wonderful invitation. I'm really happy to be a part of, to spend one evening with you guys here on Zoom. I'm aware that this is quite an international thing that you're doing.
Thank you.
My name is Már, or everyone just calls me Már because people generally can't pronounce it correctly. So Már is fine. You can call me Már. I'm 25 years old. I'm a current student at the Royal Northern College of Music here in Manchester. However, I am Icelandic, and well, I'm a little bit of an international mix too. I'm Icelandic, Norwegian, but then I grew up in Luxembourg. Um,
Wow.
I have a wonderful family. Two parents, obviously. Well, not obviously. There are lots of people that maybe don't know their parents, but I've got two parents. I've got two older half sisters, as well as a younger brother, total legend.
Wow. Let's get right into the heart of you and who you are. You were born with a genetic sight disorder called Leber congenital amaurosis, correct?
Leber's congenital amaurosis. Yeah,
And you were born with that, correct?
yeah, yeah. You can only be born with that kind of disease. Yeah.
Can you see anything out of your eyes?
The thing with Leber congenital amaurosis in most cases is that you're born with some vision, And then this vision usually just when growing up rapidly decreases. So I'm born with about, well, maybe around 10% of vision, which does not sound like a lot, but it is actually, well, quite decent. You cannot drive a car, but it's quite decent. But then, as I say, the disease usually kicks in and reduces that by a lot. So there is basically nothing left for me. I can make out like strong lights, but I cannot use what I have to do anything.
Are you saying to me that you cannot see my beautiful, handsome face?
Very unfortunately not, no.
I will describe it to you later,
Oh,
Mar. By the way,
later.
No, I was just gonna say I'm curious just to follow up with what we just discussed about his eyesight. How do you deal with the decrease of your eyesight, Mar, emotionally and psychologically?
As a kid growing up, you don't understand that there is something different from you, from the other kids. Yes, I knew that I was and that I am blind, but I did not understand the deep consequence of it, because I was running around and biking around and playing with all the other kids, and yes, I ran into trees and lost my front tooth on running on that wall or whatever it was, but I did not feel that there were any limits. So I have a very strong memory of when I was a kid and I was asked at school, like, hey Mar, what are you going to become when you grow up? And I said, I'm going to become a pilot like my dad. And they were like, huh, what, pilot? You can become a pilot? And I was like, why not? Yeah, because you're blind. And I was like, oh yeah, right, okay. I'm okay, I'll just become a bus driver instead then. And and that was not said in any joke. I just literally thought that, okay, so I think that gives a little bit of a clue to how the feeling is, and how a child's brain is processing it. And I kept on that dream to become a pilot until I was 9 or 10 years old, when I used to bike around the countryside around my home in Luxembourg, and imagine that I was a pilot on a plane, so the uphills was the takeoffs and downhills was the landings, and that was my favorite childhood game. And I remember on one day I was on my bike and I suddenly stopped the bike, and it kind of dawned on me, and I was like, yes, what people have been saying to me actually makes sense. I won't ever become a pilot. Yeah, that moment is really just printed in my brain, and the great sadness of it that just hit me, because I kind of understood the situation. However, thankfully, I've always been generally a very positive person, although I do enjoy a good complaint every now and then. I remember I sat there for a few minutes just thinking, but then I just moved on. I just thought, okay, well, I can't become a pilot, but I can maybe just find something else within, the aviation industry. And I thought, okay, my granddad, he is a lawyer. He worked as head of staff for Icelandair for over 30 years. And I just thought, oh, maybe I just become a lawyer and work within managing roles of an airline. Obviously, that did not follow through. Like, my life has taken a complete different direction. But I hope that kind of explains on how important it is just to look for alternative options, because sadly, not everything goes according to plan.
wow, it's beautiful. Mar, actually, maybe you haven't become a pilot, but you, at least I know that lots of people, you make us fly with your music and with your songs. So you make us travel. It's not the way of being a pilot. You make us fly. So what were the biggest turning points in your life that shaped who you are today?
There are quite a few ones. When I was 6 years old, my parents had to move with me to Luxembourg because the Icelandic government and the Icelandic school system was not ready to embrace me as a kid going to school and teach me effectively as my sighted classmates. So they were like crazy trying to get that fixed, but obviously, that takes time. So they reached out to blind associations around Europe, and we got loads of responses from, I believe, Denmark, from Luxembourg, from the Netherlands, even Norway, and where we were encouraged to come just so I could learn effective ways to not let the blindness hinder me in my learnings. My parents decided on Luxembourg, and we moved there and lived for 6 years, where I was taught how to read Braille, how to use modern computer technique, how to walk with a cane. So that's something I started to do from the age of 7, to walk everywhere with a cane. This has influenced my life massively. In Luxembourg, I also started to learn piano, and although life was not always easy in Luxembourg, we lived in a small farmers' village, and sorry to say, at least at that time, hopefully they've changed, but they tend to be very conservative and boring fuckers, to be very honest with you, and just racist. And yeah, so it was not always easy for me, but I definitely learned lots of things, and still go to Luxembourg every other month or so to visit my grandparents.
Wow, that's very interesting. I don't know unfortunately, I don't know too much about Luxembourg, but I would love to go there
Oh, you
someday.
should. It's beautiful, yeah. It's not the
Wow.
most thrilling and exciting place on earth, but quality of life is very, very good in Luxembourg.
Well, we both so appreciate your, oh my God, your honesty and your
Yeah.
transparency. I don't want to get into this, but America is going through a lot of BS right now. So
It,
I
it
don't even.
certainly feels like the world is falling apart.
Yes, it does. Mar, it really does. It really does. And it gives me a lot of angst and stress. Yeah. Anyway, moving on from that shit, when did you know that you were gay?
So this is something that I suspected that I might have some gay or bi tendencies when I was maybe around 15. Although I'm not one of those like kids who just discovered themselves like really, really early, and by the age of 5 they were like gay. But at that time, when you're going through your teenage years, I did all kinds of stuff. I had a girlfriend for 3 weeks, and then we decided to break up, and we just both decided to become gay, and we're best friends today. And but it wasn't until maybe, yeah, I was 17 years old when I told my parents that I was gay. And as many of us do, to soften the blow a little bit, I told them that I was maybe bi, like maybe like 60% gay and 40% bi. But as the years went by, that number was like what do you call it when you're playing like board games and you've got like a glass with like to measure the time, you've got like sand at the bottom, and like it like you flip it and it goes over to the other side. So basically my time class just like floop went, and I'm just gay. There is no bi or nothing to make it complicated. um so yeah.
Were your parents okay with it? Do they accept it and so on?
Being gay has never been any issue for me. I mean, I think it's kind of funny that, I am blind. My eye doctor says that I am autistic, although I'm not sure about that. Then I need to be gay as well. So like, how many more boxes do you want me to check in? But Iceland is generally a amazing country for the LGBTQ community. Obviously, there are dicks every here and there, and who try to manipulate your life and tell you how to live your life. We unfortunately can't get rid of them, although we try. But overall, Iceland is amazing. No one gives a shit what you do. The churches, the national church has rainbow colors and rainbow colored steps. Every town, or most
Oh, wow.
towns, have some sort of signage or something to support the LGBT community, whether it's painting, the main street, with rainbow colors, or have rainbow flags in front of the town halls. We've got a massive gay pride. It's just pride. They just took gay out of it, so it's just a new pride. Reykjavik Pride, it's called, because they want to include more of the rainbow colors or in the name. This happens every summer, and there are usually like 100,000 people that go, which is 1/4 of the country, like 25% of the population. So the support is immense, and obviously, dating options are kind of limited, but what can we do?
That's true. When was your first sexual gay experience?
I went to a friend's birthday party in Luxembourg. Actually, that ex-girlfriend of mine, that was my girlfriend for 3 weeks. And there I met a guy. We were both 17 years old, and there was something that clicked there. We just became immediately very, very good friends. We had so many things in common, and I did not live in Luxembourg at the time, so I went back home to Iceland. So this kind of developed into a long distance relationship, which is obviously not ideal, but hey, well, we couldn't really do anything else. And I traveled between Luxembourg, and he came to Iceland to visit me, and it was a incredible time actually, and discovering yourself in that way. I do cherish those memories, although what followed was a complete nightmare. Like, we broke up a year later, and although as an adult thinking back to it, this was maybe not much of a serious relationship in a way. Although we called each other boyfriends, there's much more to it to have a partner than to call and chat and message and meet every now and then. So following that, we broke up in the following summer, and my world kind of came crumbling, like falling down. Just like Trump, like there was like there was a Trump in my life at the age of, I was 19 years old at that time, and I think this is harder than anything, like learning how to deal with your emotions, like regarding being gay, regarding just gay guys. This has turned out for me a lot harder than anything regarding my vision, for example, which is really fucked.
Did you get any support from your environment at that time?
I've always been very transparent with my parents. They did all they could for me. However, they did things very differently. Although I don't want to maybe get too much into details regarding that, I know that they did their best. Some things were very, very good, but some things made it actually just a lot worse. And it wasn't until actually like half a year later, when I've been through that phase of, because I was living in that small town in Iceland. I did not know anyone like else gay, and my boyfriend from Luxembourg, like he really, although I completely had enough of him over the summer and I was happy we broke up, like a few months later it just kind of hit me, and I regretted it. I kind of thought that this was the only thing in the world that could ever work, which strangely, like now, like 6 years later, I've never been in a relationship that lasted that long. But anyway, it wasn't until a half a year or even longer later when I just decided, okay, you know what? I am going to download fucking Grinder and just see what's out there. Although it's not, I cannot really compliment that app, but it kind of got me out of my shell. I learned that there are loads of other people in the world. I started to talk to more other people, and as well just learn how the mind of gay men works, or at least try to understand that beast. But then actually just a year after that, I decided to go and see. It's not really a psychologist, but like a social worker, I believe. So in Iceland, all young people can get free mental health like help. So it's like you can go and meet a specialist, and they just talk with you through your problems. And this was so game changing for me. Just being able to speak openly with that person and get professional advice, because she really helped me to analyze my feelings in a different way from my parents and their views. So that was, I think, the changing point for me. And I remember I met that woman every week for a year, and it was just game changing, life changing even. I
Good
just
for you.
became so much confident in myself, and also she helped me just to learn that it's not always maybe to take things too personally. You know, we are all just humans searching for something, and we can be hard to please, and it's not always someone else's fault necessarily. Like there are a combination of million things why things work or don't work or whatever. Like I don't know.
Mar, you've just said that we are humans that are searching for something. What are you searching for now?
There are many things that I'm searching for. Um, I obviously strive to do well at my university. I am still training swimming up to the best ability that I can, although sometimes it is a little bit difficult to blend those two things together. I'm working on releasing an album, working on recording two other albums. I'm working on planning a tour with an orchestra towards the end of the year. Regarding my love life, I've always been a romantic, although I don't very much believe in the coincidence of walking down the street and accidentally crashing into your future husband. Or although me with my limited, or me with my no vision, this is maybe a higher possibility than for someone else to walk down the street and crash into someone. Um, but but yeah, I would absolutely love to find someone to experience like life with and figure things out, because now, like in my mid 20s, it's just life is just a fucking teamwork. Like there are so many things to it, and also like my parents are divorced now, and it's always like, okay, am I spending Christmas now with my dad or with my mom? And do they have a date? So is it like Christmas with my dad and his girlfriend, or my mom and her boyfriend? Like, where is my family? Like, you know.
You are not currently dating anybody, is that correct, Mar?
Yes, that's very correct. Yeah.
I want to switch gears just a minute. Not to kiss your ass or anything, but
No, please don't.
what, I mean, when you are such a great swimmer. Oh my God, I am just so in awe of watching you on the internet and at these meets and in Paris at the Paralympics. Oh my God. So my question to you is, when did the passion for swimming begin for you?
When my family and we moved back to Iceland when I was, well, 12 years old, after 6 years in Luxembourg, I've always wanted to do some sports, and I've always been very, very physically active. When I was a kid, running around, climbing trees, biking, all that kind of stuff. Swimming is very integrated into Icelandic culture. So here in the UK, people go to the pub to socialize, but in Iceland, people go to the swimming pools to socialize. So even from a small age, I was, swimming with my dad in the swimming pools. But when we moved home to Iceland, my dad got in touch with the head coach over the Icelandic Paralympic national team. Just asked him for advice, and he just said, "Hey, why don't you just let him, go and swim?" So when I was 13, I got into swimming with a local team in my town, with other people with various disabilities and just varying levels of good swimmers. And I was with them for about a year and a half, 2 years maybe, whilst I was getting the grip of it. Then they took me out of that team and put me in the local swimming team, and then I was one of 30 kids, and I was the only one with disability. So very soon I just started to swim with them, and have done since, which has become very valuable for me as well. So that's kind of how swimming started. I started to do my first international meets when I was about 15, at least the good ones. My first big meet was in 2016. That was a European Championships in beautiful Madeira, Portugal. And since then, this has just become my lifestyle, and this has taken me all around the world, you can say.
Wow. I love on your Instagram, I think you posted it before Paris, and it says, Start your impossible. I love that. Where did that come from?
This is actually a great quote from Toyota in Japan. So they have been a big sponsor of the Paralympics games, and especially they were big sponsors for the Paralympics in Tokyo 2020. But yeah, for a while, Toyota was one of my biggest sponsors. And well, this was their amazing quote: "Start your impossible," and I like it. It's good.
Yes, very. Now, the next paramedic, next, the next Paralympics is in Los Angeles, which I am very near to, and
Okay.
I actually used to live in Los Angeles.
Oh wow.
Uh,
Yeah.
2028. Are you setting your horizons on that?
Um, I've not received any updates just with that situation, really. I mean, I have no idea whether the city is even in a condition to be able to host any Olympics and Paralympics in a few years' time, or whether, things will have recovered and they managed to build up and reconstruct from the disasters and fires that were recently. But I do take kind of 1 year at a time now, whether I'll be going to the Paralympics in 2028 or not. That we just must see. If I will still be enjoying swimming and doing that sport, I will. But I will also keep my eyes wide open for whatever opportunities come my way. Because swimming is only one part of me, and that will come to an end at some point. I'm not there yet, but I'm sure I'll know when I know.
Mar, I think for us and for our audience, would be interesting to understand better your life, your activities. So, how do you keep up with sports events? I mean, technically, how do you perceive all that information?
Well, I represent the Icelandic national team, obviously, and thankfully they've got amazing staff who take care of most things. For me, at least, most of the paperwork side of things. I do not compete as much as I used to do as a teenager. I maybe do three competitions per year now. So my next one is coming up in Iceland in April, and then probably something in the summer, who knows, maybe in Berlin or something. And then we're going to Thailand for a training camp in September, followed by the World Championships in Singapore. So I try to have just one peak maybe per year now, which would then for me be in September, just because with my music, with the studies, I can't do more.
Is there a particular swimmer or swimmers that you look up to or admire?
There are lots of great athletes out there that deserve credit for all kinds of influences and methods of doing things. Although I've always been just very focused on myself, I've never been one of those who has been like a subscriber to the medals, but I'm still very happy about the career that I have had so far, and I'm optimistic that I can achieve more. We have not reached the top yet. But yeah, I've always been very, although it sounds arrogant, I've always just been very self-focused on me and just how I do things. Um, but I think this is also maybe a little bit because I can't really see other athletes. So although I can definitely listen to interviews with them and stuff like that, I can't really, well, I can't at all look at their technique or, um, you know, admire them from afar, if that makes sense. That's how I handle the situation.
It really does make perfect sense.
Are there any specific commentaries or any sort of support to help you understand what's going on there?
Swimming is obviously not really a team sport, so it's just one on one, or not one on one. Just you're just competing against all the other guys swimming with you. When I'm swimming and my head is underwater, the only thing I can hear is obviously just a and some noises from the crowd and stuff. But yeah, so I don't really manage to follow any commentary whilst swimming because I'm just firstly listening to that and dying basically from exhaustion.
Now, your spirit in motion, going over to singing, wow, I am just in awe of that beautiful song that you recorded with the Manchester Symphony Orchestra,
Mhm.
which is where you study in Manchester. And the Spirit in Motion celebrates your journey to the Paralympics, including, as you stated, quote unquote, all the good things and the tough shit too. Meaning,
Mm.
of course, while in training, prepping for the Paralympics, you certainly encounter angst, demands, hard work, discipline, probably not much social life, and so on. So, seeing this all brought together, what you did in this beautiful song, Spirit in Motion, was just wonderful to watch. I've watched it 5 times now. Sure, I watch it again.
Oh, thank you. That means a
Yeah,
lot. Thanks so much for sharing that.
beautiful.
We did our best to summarize that story and just be open and honest about it. And I hope that people and other athletes can relate to it. And I did as well my best to bridge the gap a little bit between the Paralympics and Olympics, because sadly there is really, although Paralympics always take place at the same place as the Olympics, there is a gap between us, and there are no crossovers between athletes or anything. So I wrote the song from a perspective that would work for Olympic athletes and Paralympic athletes as well, because initially we're going through the same journey.
Very true. My God, you have a new album out called Orchestral Me. I love the title, Orchestral Me, which Spirit in Motion is included. How many albums do you have out?
So I've released one album. So I released a album called Söngur which basically means Song of the Birds. I released this when I was 19 years old. And then since then I've released just singles, but Orchestral Me will be then my second album to be released. 3 songs are out already, and the fourth one should be coming in a few weeks' time.
And Lucky Star, I think, was
Yes, that's the newest
recently
one.
released with your sister Isolde Wilberg.
Yes, Isolde. Yeah.
Oh my God! And that was shot in Iceland. Is that correct?
Yes.
That water looks
It's
very
incredible.
cold.
It was so cold. Like I'm still shivering from our session in January.
I cannot imagine. So, Mar, Spirit in Motion, how would you describe the motion your spirit is now in?
Good. It has been a quite long day here in Manchester, to be fair. I've just finished my dinner after a session of swimming where we did loads of speed work, and then earlier in the day I've been working on my music. But generally my spirit is good. There are loads of exciting projects on the horizon that I'm so excited to embrace and take on, and life is throwing things at me, and I am, taking them and well, see where best to shoot them back. I'm having a great time.
And you are also giving back. I want to bring up your advocacy and your activism. In Iceland, you regularly speak around schools, around
Yes,
the country, sharing what life is like as a blind person, as a gay person. And you
absolutely.
also connect very well on, social media, demonstrating to others that your visual impairment is not an obstacle for you.
Thank you so much for that. I certainly do my best. And yeah, this is true. I do travel a lot around in Iceland, meeting kids in schools, like all ages, up to university ages even, and do my presentation on where I talk about my life and how it is growing up with um, a genetic eye disorder that, gets worse with time. And speak about music, speak about inclusion, speak about um, being gay, speak about me and my guide dog Max, and how we do things together. And this has been just amazing to be able to travel between all those schools and share my story. I would love to do more of it, and even to get an opportunity in countries abroad to deliver a similar presentation. I think it would be amazing. Yeah, I think it's just important to be transparent at all times, whether it's at a Zoom podcast interview or when posting on social media, because this is a part of our reality and we should not put up any facades. I don't think we should.
Agreed. Well, you certainly give hope to not only the kids in the school, but to us, to others, and you are a hero to many. And where does your transparency, your honesty, your upfrontness, and your activism, where does that stem from? Is it just in your DNA? Did you get it from your parents or
I
free?
think it's my parents. They definitely told me just honesty, and something really valuable from them is just the thing to not be afraid to approach people, whether I'm approaching someone world famous or someone at the like working at the local store. Like, just approach people, introducing yourself, speak up your thoughts, and be nice about it, and all good things will work out your way fine.
I like your
Wow,
parents.
They're great.
they really are indeed. You are very present at Reykjavik Prides, where over 100,000 people celebrate yearly. So about this, you've said, I think it reflects how unique we are as a country. I'd say that we are one of the best countries for people to live in if they want equal opportunity. I just wish that more countries had the same attitude.
Yes,
Here,
absolutely.
here, here, here.
What do you think? What helps uh, Iceland be that open?
I think the generations before me, they definitely deserve so much gratitude for all their hard work that they put in invisibility. And I think there is not really much more to it than that, yeah, there are people, the generations before us, that did all the hard work. And as well, we've had a decent government that, well, not always, but in most cases, listens and acts on the behalf of the people. We don't allow any ridiculous, crazy presidents or vice presidents, or the people in the country are the ones who rule it, basically. Our democracy is generally quite good.
Very, very well said, and I hope America takes note. If you wrote a book today, what would the title be?
Oh, this is a great question. However, I'm not going to give it up because I've got some ideas for books. However, I've not shared them really. So I will let you know if it comes to it to take it to a next step.
Oh, good. Yes, I am hoping you write your memoirs. Oh my God, yes, I want to read it.
We will stand by. Okay, Mar, what curse word do you use often?
Ooh, there are quite a few, to be honest.
Is that
Yeah. I mean, there are some, quite nice Icelandic ones that I tend to use every now and then. I mean, there's nothing drastic really, I just go with the ones that are trending at the time.
What's the one you use most often today?
I can't tell you really. Like, just yeah, I've called people like what have I called people? I think I've called a few people fuckers today, but I think I've been watching TikToks of American politics as well today. So
what language do you think in?
The language that I think mostly in Icelandic, although when I go to Luxembourg, if I spend more than 3 days in Luxembourg, I start thinking in Luxembourgish.
Oh, wow. Mar, complete this sentence. I feel sexiest when I am.
Hmm. When I am in some of my gorgeous swimwear after a training.
All right.
Mm.
Oh,
Wow.
all right.
For reference, check my Instagram profile.
Oh, so nice. When was the last time you heard "I love you"?
Oof, that's a good. I spoke with my mom yesterday on the phone. She uses that a lot, which I think is nice.
Oh,
Um,
name a couple of singers that you like.
I'm a huge Michael Bublé fan. I love Michael Bublé, and there are obviously so many. Someone I've really, really, really started to listen to like only since last week. JB Cooper from Manchester, amazing guy. Although he's not maybe someone who has influenced me like over the years, because I just discovered him like last week. But currently, I'd say Michael Bublé, JB Cooper.
And what's your go-to song that always puts you in a great mood?
To be very honest, this changes as well. I try to vary what I listen to, but if I am in a specific mood and I feel that I need to get out of it, sometimes I just need to go and listen to some of my own songs and go back to even like, oh wow, I wrote this like 5, 6 years ago, or wow, it was even 7, 8 years ago. Wow, like how different, like how much has changed since then. So sometimes I use my own songs to kind of ground myself.
And speaking of different emotions, what do you do, Mar, when you feel depression coming on or when you are depressed, feeling down?
Definitely playing my instrument and trying to come up with music helps in those kind of situations, or just doing something that makes me happy. If there come days that I'm just really not feeling it, everyone has those days, then I sometimes just say, okay, Maud, you're having a break from the rest of the day, and you are going to go and do something fun, maybe see some friends, or go and have some expensive food that I don't have every day, or treat myself. Like, yeah, I just go and treat myself.
Nice, nice advice. When was
Um,
last time that you cried?
That was about 2 weeks ago. It was for my grandfather. I was visiting him and my grandmother in Luxembourg, and he had not been home for a while just because he had a little accident, fell and broke his leg and something. And well, I came to Luxembourg, and then soon after he, came back home, which was great. But obviously there have been some changes in his health. He's got like currently Parkinson's, just so mobility wise, he's getting like quite a lot more limited, and he needs help with all kinds of stuff. And yeah, that was very hard to see. But obviously, we just must accept reality and life as it comes. But yeah, I needed some moment to process that.
Mar, what do you think? How would your environment describe you?
I think it depends. Probably as a very confident, sometimes a little bit arrogant. I'm not going to say maybe selfish. No, no, not selfish, but someone who enjoys putting on ridiculous projects that are ridiculously complicated and big, and yeah, hopefully though as well caring and friendly, or um, and fun to be with. I at least hope so.
What do you usually wear to bed at
Ah,
night?
it depends. My usual thing is just t-shirt and boxers. That's my Yeah, I don't really like sleeping naked unless it's very, very warm.
Mar, if you could sum up the most important lesson life has taught you thus far, how would you sum it up?
I believe to be thankful for what we've got at the time and to make the most out of our available resources. And one of most important thing is just to believe in yourself and to believe in the things you do and follow them through. If something doesn't work out, something else will just come your way instead.
I have to share just a brief little story with you. I don't know if you know who Greg Louganis is, but he was a yeah, he's I think he's retired now, but he was a Olympic swimmer and a medal winner. Oh gosh, back in the 80s, early 90s. Anyway, I was lucky enough to interview him and meet him like in the late 90s, early 2000s. And when you said believe in yourself, when I had a picture of him and I asked him to sign it, and he said, so what he signs, and he always signs this, believe in yourself, Greg Louganis. So
Oh,
what you
that's a nice quote. Yeah.
so what you say means so much, and obviously to another swimmer as well, Greg
Yeah.
Louganis.
No, this is a great fact. I was not aware of this. Yeah. Nice connection there.
Mar, what happens after we die?
Don't want to think about it. Well, I'm 25 years old now. Like that feels old enough. Um, yeah, I mean, I have no idea whether there will be a massive party in Valhalla somewhere. Fuck yeah, I'm down. I'm sure there is a gay corner in that castle somewhere, like the old Scandinavian gods. You know, like they are totally cool with that. And even dressing up as like women and all kinds of stuff. So let's just say that we just go to Valhalla. There will be a massive gay party somewhere
I like it. I'll go.
there.
Mar, name one of your bad habits.
I tend to be a little bit late to things, which in a way I believe is good because like my grandmother, like oh my gosh, she is there rather like an hour earlier than a minute too late. And for your blood pressure, I think it's a lot healthier just to be a little bit chilled in it. But that's probably one of my worst habits too. Yeah, sometimes be a little bit too chilled with timings.
And share something that you fear.
I must say the situation in America does give me some anxiety right now. This is very, very scary, but something that I generally fear. There are not many things, but probably just things that I can't control myself. Whether it's like I tend to be like stressful when it comes to like health and stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, not much.
And I'm not quite sure how to ask this question, so bear with me. Um, do you watch movies? Do you listen to movies?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Can you name a favorite movie that you've enjoyed?
I maybe don't have a favorite movie, but like who doesn't love the like old classics of like Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, like all that kind of stuff, like fairy tale with amazing music.
Maybe you could name an actor you would like to play you in the biopic movie of your life.
Ooh.
Oh,
To be honest, I don't really study names of actors, so I have no idea. But he better be good looking and with a six pack.
Oh, it's back, good looking. Okay, so we'll send you the list.
Yes, thank you
Where
very much.
Vladdy, offhand, I haven't thought about this till now. Offhand, who do you think could play Mar? God, I'm trying to. Gosh, I'm trying to. Who could play Mar? I'm gonna have to think about this.
Listen, do you maybe you know that guy that's played the movie Red, White, and Royal Blue?
Yes. Oh,
Uh,
the British actor. Oh, I like. Oh, yeah, he could do it.
you could maybe do
Like
it, yeah.
he and Mar kind of look like each other. Do you know who that is, Mar?
I've read the book. God save me. I'm not religious though. But yeah, I've seen some TikTok videos from just clip of the thing, but I could not really maybe describe. I mean, obviously, like, you know, I just listened to TikTok videos, so nice posh voice, if I remember it correctly.
Yeah, and boy, he's really doing quite a few things now. I know he did something, oh God, what was it? A period piece like from the 17 or 1800s
Oh,
with
wow, okay.
Julianne Moore.
He sounds like a great guy. Like, put me in touch. That's fine.
Okay, we're gonna hook you up. Okay,
Yes.
We'll make the casting.
Yes.
Make the casting for your biopic. Well, I think it's time for our last question for today. Please choose one word or short phrase to describe Már Gunnarsson.
I'm going to quote one of my songs, actually. Lyrics written by my good friend Thomas Eyolfsson. This is a song called Someday, and in the song Someday, at one place, I sing, "If you don't have a dream, it's not coming true." So I think that shall be the sentence of the day.
love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh my gosh, wow! God, we just got started. I can't believe we're all already over. Shoot. Boy, what a thrill this has been to have you on our podcast, Evoking Evolvement, better known as Evo. And Mar, you inspire us. We appreciate your activism. And as I've said before, you are a role model for all of us. And we look forward to following you on your continued path of success.
Guys, thank you so much again for a nice conversation and for thinking of me and reaching out. Likewise, I wish you all the best, and I would like to use this opportunity, of course, just to mention to our dear listeners today, if you're interested in following what I'm doing, I am on social media: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram Threads. If you're handsome, feel free to go on Tinder and see whether you can, you know, transport yourself to Manchester and find me there somewhere in the stack, although probably not much chance, but um,
Oh, I love it. Oh my God, I
but
love it.
mine was the honor and pleasure, guys. Thank you so much.
Following all these invitations and all those suggestions, please leave your comments and click on the thumbs up onto this episode. Stand by for more engaging episodes as we have some special guests lined up coming your way.
Adios.
Ciao.
From Madrid, California, and Manchester. Thank you, Mar. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessings.
Tack för det.